Good evening, all of you. Welcome to Revision IT program. Welcome to the module PLSQL. How are you all? How preparation is going on? Sonal, Sudyani, all from Borveli Center, Andheri, Shyambazar, Paris Center. How are you all? Are you all there? Connected and just following something else over there. Okay. Right. Okay. Fine. So we have already identified the way how you can prepare for the entire module. Just now I had a discussion with our center team also. So today is the last class for us, and I hope you are all doing well. The objective of today's session is understanding the PLSQL code designing system. As part of working with the PLSQL code compilation process, compilation configuration, the last class we had a discussion on different category of the PLSQL code compilation. In our today's session, we are going to have a discussion on how you can define the compilation conditionally. This is the last part 1 session. Conditional compilation. In the last class, we had a discussion on different parameters for identifying the compilation procedures and some level of configuration for compilation. Those are all the things we had a discussion in the last class. This is continuation for the same topic. Topic is same, but certain other things we will discuss in this topic now. Fine, all of you. So describe the use of conditional compilation and hide PLSQL source code using a concept called obfuscation, dynamic obfuscation. This is one more technical feature of Oracle. Obfuscation is what we will discuss, and what is the advantage of wrapping some content that is nothing but your PLSQL code in other programming languages is nothing but a abstraction, so that how we can implement. These two are the objectives, and the last session will be dependencies. These two are the points we will discuss today, and then we will complete our entire program. Now, what is conditional compilation? Generally, when you write a feature like your PLSQL code block, when you execute it, it would run as you expected, right? With certain errors. If the errors are there, it shows the error. If there is no error, the program will run well. So what type of statement it is, based on that, the result also will be generated. So there will be no issue in any statement, compilation and execution. But what is a conditional compilation? Enables you to customize the functionality in a PLSQL application without removing any source code. What is the advantage? This particular feature advantage is every program, when it is getting compiled, by default whatever the features have configured, based on that program can be compiled. But here you are going to define certain parameters and properties for compilation conditionally. That is the objective of this topic. General compilation process, but you will define some different type of conditions. Okay. So I am sharing with you all some points. 1 minute. So utilize the latest functionality. Sunny, is it low audio? Manoj, could you please increase volume? Manoj? Enables you to customize the functionality. What is the customizing the functionality? Whatever the functionality is already existing, that you can customize without removing any of your program code. The program is your source code. Utilize the latest functionality with the latest database release or disable the new features to run the application against the older release of the database. This point is what you know. No, Sunny, it is on 2nd only, right? It is not on 7th, it is on 2nd only, because the schedule is not allowed to change it to 7th. As and then the batch, I already shared with the your Nandita also, the same thing. Yesterday, your batchmates also had a discussion on this. So as per the given schedule, it should be on 29th, but it has been extended to 2nd only. But I could not manage it to schedule it to 7th, because the schedule will not be in my hand. That would be in the hand of the centralized location. So that is the reason that has been fixed it to the same date. Sunny, I hope you all have followed the schedule also. That's why I thought of giving the information at the end. Fine, all of you. Sunny? All of you. Yes, that has to be gone. Like I will discuss at the end, I will tell the way how you can easily prepare for the module. Okay? Fine. All of you, please now you just concentrate on this. Actually, see, the point is very simple. You are all requesting to cross the schedule, but what was happened, you know, many centers, they have already uploaded the exam based on the actual schedule. So this is not possible to schedule for only one particular center. Even it is not possible to reschedule for any reason. So that is not in my hand, first thing. So that's why even my request, I also tried, but they are saying that it is already crossed the schedule. So please, I did not get you any message, all of you. Fine. Again, I will discuss with certain points with you all, then let me move forward. Okay? Okay, Sunny. Right. What is the advantage of conditional compilation? So once if you recall all the points of Oracle versions, Oracle 8, Oracle 9, or 9i, or 10, 10G, or from there the grid environment, a grid technology of Oracle has been started. Oracle Cloud also, 12.3 is also been released. Okay. Now, when you want to use latest functionality with the latest database release, or disable the new features to run the application against the older release of the database, that is conditional compilation. Point taken. See, you may have a older version of the database, and you may install the new version of the database also. You may have older one or you may have new one. Yes, Shian. So situationally, when you install the new version of the database, you will get the features of all related compilation or security or any related feature of the Oracle will come. But newer one, always you can use with the newer one features. Like new model, new database can use the new features. But these new features you want to use. Okay, Divya. Get well soon, Divya. I will discuss with you later for this. Okay? Oh, Shayan. Right. But you want to use the new database to run with the older version. So run the application against the older release of the database. So for that, activate debugging or tracing functionality in the development environment and hide the functionality in the application while it runs in production site. Two different points you need to analyze here. It is of completely the actual environment where you will work in IT industry. There are two different environments generally we talk in IT industry. where you currently work for a project. That environment is called as production environment. Okay. So that runs at a production site. Fine. Development environment and production environment. So some of the features you can use in development requirement, but some of the environments, some of the features you can disable in real where you are using the application. So production site and development environment. These two. See, now you are developing something, that is development environment. You want to have every feature, like configurations you want, security you want, and tracing you want. How the tracing is for the purpose of how well it is working, and you want to debug it, all type of errors you want to validate it. So that is the reason development environment should have every feature. Point taken. But when you come to the production, they are not required. All those are not required. Fine. So what are required, what are not required is the conditional compilation. Point taken. All of you? Can I get the response from all of you? Fine. So for that, how does a conditional compilation work? A big picture of the conditional compilation given over there. So how a conditional compilation works, the picture here. This is actually, these are all different types of directives. If is a directive, you can see the dollars, whatever we are using in the directives, error directive, packages, different packages. These are all actually, if you want to use or if you don't want to use in a program, based on that it would be decided conditionally to be compiled or not. Functional compilation directive, that is if token or $$ token or error token, or you can go for preprocessor package or version package. So these are all actually different type of packages are available for us. Now if you take all these are the different tokens, whenever you want to use these version token or packages of any type here, you need to mention those things in the program. Based on that, the program would run as you expected. See that selection directives, you are well aware actually. If construct directly you use, but here you are using if with $. In this code construct you can see this is a general cursor declaration. Okay, programmatically it is a simple cursor, but in this you are using if with $, then with $, else with $, and end also with $. It is a simple cursor declaration. Cursor name is, so cursor is select employee ID from employee, because you declare a cursor and you are going to copy the value into that particular cursor. Then salary is greater than 20,000 or salary greater than 50,000. So you mention some conditions. But these condition selection directives are generally like if then else, right? Generally like if then else. But when the compilation comes to that particular keyword, $if or $then, it verifies the text, whatever the text you define between if and then. Because if conditionally value is greater than, then it should be done something. Fine. So this $ represents as it's a directive, and whatever you text mentioned in between these two, if and then, that would be taken as the selected part for compilation. Okay. Selection, selective compilation is in the sense conditionally you are defining what should be compiled. Fine. So the condition, if it is true, then it comes to the next part. Then that would be compiled. So conditionally that part will be compiled. So that is the way entire process takes place. Otherwise, general condition it is. If it is satisfied, then it is that thing should done. If it is not satisfied, something should be done. But if you make it as a selection directive, if is one part here, you can check here. In between, if and then this blue color underlined code only will be taken for compilation, and that would be validated. Point taken? All of you? Expecting response from all of you. So these are all actually when you are in industry, you may need to have an idea what type of real process takes place. That is the reason when you come to the end of the course, they provided some information which is related to the production environment or to the development environment. You are experiencing what type of process takes place in real software development. Now, as a student, you are learning PLSQL. You understood all PLSQL code construct. It can be a variable, it can be a type declaration, or it can be any cursor or any procedure function. These are all knowledge related to PLSQL. But work environment, how it will be? Because you are all following Oracle official curriculum. This book is directly from Oracle. So they provide everything, not only the purposeful things of student, and they provide everything in the book. So that is the reason we are discussing everything in the course. Point taken? So there are many of the predefined or user-defined inquiry directives. If you look into this, there are different type of directives are available. These are all actually the information related to the different type of directives what are available. These directives are nothing but the system-defined libraries. So PLSQL, CC flags, code type, optimization levels, warnings, length semantics, PLSQL lines, PLSQL unit. These are all actually inbuilt directives. These directives we can use when you are working with your PLSQL code programs. But if you look into this, how you can retrieve those things, you can see PLSQL CC flags, the parameter. What are the parameters you want to specify? Here you can see select name type PLSQL CC flag from user underscore PLSQL underscore object underscore settings. So once if you retrieve that information, what is the information has been retrieved from here? It is the information CC flags inquiry directive. Whatever information has been produced here, this is for the users, R users, DBA users, for dictionary use of whatever the settings you define in your compilation process will be shown. Point taken. CC flags used for recompilation. The CC flags how you can retrieve? If you directly use only the statement, it retrieves only the data. But if you mention only columns, name type PLSQL CC flags, it shows, see, add underscore job underscore history is a procedure. The procedure is a PLSQL CC flags equal to true, debugging parameter 0. So likewise, in case of any parameter has been defined, that defined parameter will be shown. Fine. So how you can define the parameter? Those two things I want to share with you all in a simple way. You can easily understand that. I'm sharing that point with you all. One minute. So now you can see what are all triggers, procedures, functions. In case of any configuration is there for CC flags, it shows those configurations. If configuration is not there, it doesn't show the configuration. Okay. But if you want to define for anything, like here, I want to choose for something like a procedure. So I want to select this part I'm selecting, where type equal to procedure. So only procedures are retrieved. But if you look into this, there is no configuration property for the procedure. Now you want to define a parameter for configuration. Now you can see that alter session set PLSQL CC flags for debugging tracing process. Tracing is that what happened in the PLSQL procedure. In case of any error, the tracing will be captured the data of errors or any other reason of unexpected way of execution. So the tracing property can be changed to true. Then you can create the procedure. Okay. So now here I want to make you all clear by changing these properties to configure that particular CC flag. So CC flag allows us to define certain type of PLSQL configuration settings in compilation. Now here, this is the another property. Now this is nowhere related to the procedure, but you are configuring for this particular procedure. Alter session set PLSQL underscore CC flags equal to tracing property can be set to true. Then you are creating a procedure. Procedure name is P. If tracing, then it has to be showed as tracing, right? If it is tracing is going on, it has to be shown as tracing. So what you are using the conditional derivative $if $tracing, then that is also conditional, and you are going to just display the result of when it is in the process of tracing, it has to be shown as tracing. Then this is the ended. So this is only the statement should be shown as currently the process of tracing taking place and the procedure should be closed. Now procedure name is P. So when you are retrieving that, all whatever the name you define for that particular P, it shows what is happened in the process. So I am just making this the property I want to configure. So session altered. Session altered in the sense you made the tracing property set to true. From false to true you can change. Means when you execute it, you can say for that particular procedure every time the debugging with tracing will be taken place. Now I executed, so the property I want to read the tracing for that particular procedure is true. Point taken. So such type of conditional compilation we can define in your PLSQL code block. All of you, please analyze. It is some extent the big concept of the PLSQL code blocks. I hope you are all following this. Same manner, some of the different category of errors also will be generated in this, but versions also matters in PLSQL coding. There are different types of versions we will generally experience in PLSQL. So I want to share certain points here. So I want to share a small example of conditionally what type of errors will be executed. Using conditional compilation error, directives to read user-defined error. Now here you are changing some trace level from 1, 2, 3 because tracing is what you know. Being a database administrator, you can monitor the performance of the database and the entire information of the performance of the database will be recorded. Nothing but it would be traced for monitoring. So this is a pure administrative task. But when you create a procedure, P, if by defining if trace level equal to 0, then what should happen? If trace level is 1, what should happen? If trace level is 2, what should happen? So this is the code you have written as what should happen some extent. Else error should be displayed as trace level send error. Now here this type of procedure has been created by defining some level of trace level. If trace level is 0, something should happen. Trace level is something 1, then something should happen. So when you are going to use this here, these type of exceptions you can create separately. conditionally you can define some errors in the tracing. So that would be shown as and when any error generated in your compilation process. But this error is user defined error in the trace process. Can I know from all of you? By seeing that, you can easily analyze, you can create your own conditional compilation errors. So if tracing levels are defined as 0, 1 or 2 or 3, then based on that type of error can be generated. Apart from this, we have a DB package also, version packages. Version packages is like, in case if you look into this version, see Oracle 11G version LE11_1. See, when a company released a particular product like Oracle 10G or Oracle 11G, you take. When they release Oracle 11G, immediately they don't release with a name as 12G. They will continue the support of releasing the extension of the same version, right? So that you can consider it as version 2 or version 3 of the same version name. Suppose 11G is there. 11G release 1, 11G release 2, 11G release 3. Likewise, they can release multiple times the same version. That is what you know. You are adding some more new features to the existing version and releasing with the same name. So such a way, using this DBMS_DB version package, you can read the versions. So very simple way, you can analyze the versions here. You can look into this. So 9 version less than or equal to 9, because Oracle 9I was there, Oracle 9 was there, Oracle 8 was there, 8X was there, right? So DB version package constant retrieves some information related to the versions. You can look into the different versions, release 1, release 2 of PLSQL versions for the same version, like Oracle 9. If you take Oracle 9, again you can find 2 different versions of Oracle 9 out there. Fine. 10 also you can see 2 versions. Oracle version 11G can be with multiple versions. We generally think that the version is one only, right? Any questions? All of you? DBMS version package. All of you? But only the thing, when you are in industry, you will be aware of these versions well. So I want to share a big concept to you, but it's a very simple program. Fine. Now, by seeing this, don't get any confusion. To see it is a big code, but concept is very simple. Now, conditionally, you want to compile based on the Oracle version. Here you may get a simple question. Why I need to have these different types of versions definitions? Now, you consider there is a server. The server has many different versions of the Oracle because they don't disturb the existing older versions in some situations. So in your computer, in the server, you have version 1, version 2, version 3. Assume that Oracle 10 you have, Oracle 11 you have, Oracle 12C also you have. Now you want to compile based on a particular version. Program you want to compile based on a particular version. So now here you are creating a package. PLSQL CC flags, my debug false, my tracing false. So it doesn't happen, debugging and tracing. Now you are creating a package. So package name is my package, subtype is my real, and some function or procedure you are going to create. Now you are checking the version. So if version is greater than or equal to 10G, means if it is 11G, use binary double data type. So how you mention? So if the version is more than 10G, means if the version is 11G, then it has to execute binary underscore double data type. Otherwise, the data type never be handled by the older versions. Fine. If dbms underscore db version dot version less than 10, then else binary double. Fine. Are you all clear? If this is, number should be used. Otherwise, data type should be binary double. Second point, program is used a data type, that is binary double data type. If the version is above 10, it should use binary double. Otherwise, it should use number data type. So, older version's data type number has been changed as binary double in the next version of 10G. So, conditionally you can mention, in case of the higher version, it can use the data type as binary double. In case of lower versions, it can use the data type as number. So that is the conditional compilation with database versions. Can I know from all of you, and who have just joined also can understand this, all of you? Make it fast. See that the values also here, if the version is less than 10, might be a pi value is the variable with the initialized with the pi value, and exponential values you can see. So like based on the version, conditionally you can mention what type of data type should be used, what type of version related debugging can be used, that you can decide as you require. Fine? All of you. Any questions? Fine. It is not too complex, but only the thing you need to analyze in the point of view of, it is a standard way where really in industry it can be used, right? But not a normal programmer, not a fresh programmer. Once if you attain some experience in PLSQL environment of Oracle platform, if you become a senior developer in certain areas, then only that team will work on all these areas. You can ask me why I should learn this now. This you should learn to understand how actually the environment will be. That advantage you will get from this. Then obfuscation. This obfuscation is what? Simply wrapping. Wrapping, you know, that is actually you are creating a package, but not that particular package. You are creating some code, you are abstracting. Fine? Obfuscation or wrapping of PLSQL unit is the process of hiding the PLSQL source code. So abstraction concept, if you consider what is relevant to be given, that only will be published. Means remaining thing will be hidden from the user. Same manner here, this can be obfuscated, nothing but it can be wrapped. What a PLSQL code, whatever the unit of the code you have created, that can be wrapped. Wrapping can be done by using the wrap utility, that is dbms underscore ddl subprograms, data definition language subprograms. Okay. So what the advantage of this? The wrap utility is run from the command line and it is processed in input SQL file such as SQL start plus installation script. This obfuscation, if you want to configure, this can be executed from the script environment, because Oracle, once if you are installing, everything won't be available by default. Some of the things you will configure after installation and some of the things you will execute after the installation. Even your HR schema is not directly available. You have to unlock the account of HR, then only you can use. But when you are working with any practicals in machine room, it is already been unlocked earlier, right? Same here, this package, you need to run from the command line when you want to use it, using SQL start plus environment, and this is the process of installation of a script. This DDL subprogram wrap a single PLSQL unit, such as a single clear procedure command that has been generated dynamically. What that way it works, you know, it is defined in that particular subprogram, in the package, It has been created with a procedure command. So when you execute it, it would be executed dynamically. That is the point of obfuscation. Are you all clear? Any questions? So two examples will make you very clear. Non-obfuscated PLSQL code and obfuscated PLSQL code. Okay, two things I want to share with you. Very easily you can analyze. So now non-obfuscated means it is not wrapped. What is not wrapped you can see. Begin. All source codes view family shows source code. Means if you want to see using that user source is the available table, I will show that to you. Begin. This is a comment entry. I request you all to analyze this. This is a comment entry. Okay. Execute immediate. Create or replace a procedure T1. The procedure body what is there? Begin. Display. And not wrapped. Simply. But when you want to check it, it would be shown to you as whatever the code you have created in that. So it is not obfuscated. It will be shown to you whatever actually you created in that. Now I want to share it to you. Very easily you can analyze. 1 minute. Practically I will show. Then easily you can understand. So this is the small part of code I have copied over there. Fine. So PLSQL procedure got created successfully. So if I remove this, you can see what has been simply created. Now I am removing this part. This is a comment entry, then it doesn't lead to confusion to you. So set server output on, begin, execute immediate is the property. This procedure name is P1, only to display and not wrapped. Okay. So when you execute it, the procedure got created. Now only the thing you can call the procedure. When you are calling the procedure, it shows what code you have used for the procedure. Fine. So I'm not wrapped is the one. Call completed. Okay. I'm not wrapped. Call completed. Because you call the procedure and you executed a procedure. But I want to know what code you have created in the procedure. I want to see the procedure code. So when I want to see the procedure code, that is available under a table called user source table. Okay. This user source table maintains the complete information of all type of code whatever you created for procedure, function, trigger, everything. So you can see whatever the code you created in different subprograms. The complete code will be shown using user source table. Now in this user source table, I don't want everything. I want only a text. Text is the column. So I want only text from that particular table where name equal to P1. P1 is your procedure name. For that particular procedure, whatever the code written by the programmer, and it should be displayed in a line order. Line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4. In that line order, it should be displayed. So what will happen if you execute it? It is showing the information of whatever the procedure you created, whatever the view you created, whatever the trigger you created, and it doesn't hide the information of the code whatever you created. So, but sometimes you may want to hide the code from user or from other programmers. So in this process, you can obfuscate the entire PLSQL code. That obfuscation is nothing but you can wrap it. So simply you can wrap it the code very simply. You can see dbms underscore ddl dot create wrapped. Remaining all same. The procedure name is same. The procedure life is same. Everything is same. But you want to obfuscate it. Simply you want to hide it. Hence, if you hide it, it won't be appear to the general user because it will be completely hidden from user. So obfuscation, I want to share it with you. Using the package, you can obfuscate it. So the slash symbol if I use, then this will be like a second one. So I execute it. So I'm wrapped now, and PLSQL call also has been done at a time because this slash will make it as a second statement to be executed. So this is the procedure we have created, and this procedure I want to remove this comment also so that it would be much more clear to you all. So begin. Only the thing dbms underscore ddl dot create wrapper. That is the like package we are using. Then it is showing it is wrapped. Now you want to read the data, same like the previous one. When you want to read this, it doesn't show the text because it is been wrapped. See what happened it is. It is shown in a different format. It is not readable to you, not readable to any user. Can I know from all of you? Is it clear to you all? Is it obfuscation clear? All of you? Okay. So when you are going for wrapping, you should follow certain measures of the wrapping, because everything if you wrap it, it would not run as you expected, right? So you must wrap only the package body, not the package specification. Content only should be wrapped, okay? Specifications can be defined within the procedure or function separately in the package. The wrapper can detect syntactic errors but cannot detect semantic errors, okay? So data type, all the things will not be checked. Output file should not be edited. You maintain the original source code and wrap again as required, because you cannot modify once if you wrap it. You need to have the source code with you. To ensure that all the important parts of your source code are obfuscated, view the wrapped file in a text editor before distributing it to the user, because you want to secure the code from the user. So whatever you have abstracted or obfuscated, that source code you should keep it with you, and you can check whether it is being completely obfuscated or not before publishing to the user. That is nothing but before distributing to the user. Point taken? All of you? Any questions? Fine. Is it heavy? The concept is bigger in the mind? Can I know from all of you? Finding difficulty to understand or easily understanding? All of you, all locations, Andheri West, Rich Vihar, Kannat Place, Borvali, BKDC Center. Some are disabled. What happened? Is there any login issue there? The last session and last module is managing dependencies. So the dependencies are what actually? This is the last session for us. Like conceptually, it's the last topic. What we can find from the dependencies? When you are working with procedures, functions, triggers, all the different category of the subprograms, there are certain areas we will use those subprograms to depend to other subprograms. So packages, sequences, synonyms, tables, these are all actually different type of schema related objects which can be used for dependencies. So what is the actually objective of the dependencies I want to share. First, what are the objectives? Track procedural dependencies, predict the effect of changing a database object on procedure and function, because you create a procedure, but when you create a procedure, there will be a table you will use in a procedure. So when you use a table name in a procedure, if you change the table name later, what will happen for the procedure? There is an employee table where salary column is there, that should be updated by a procedure. Procedure got created. Now you change the table name. In the employee table, instead of employee, you change it as employee data table. So that employee data is not there in the procedure. So how a procedure can work, right? So manage procedural dependencies. So that is the objective. So you can see schema objects, which are generally a schema. Schema is a collective name of many tables, right? That we generally aware in level of SQL only. Now, once if you consider what are all dependencies and what are all dependent and what are all can be referred. Package body dependent only, because package body, what would be there in the package? It can be a function or it can be a procedure as member in the package body. Package specification, it can be dependent or it can be referred also, because specification can be defined by declared and can be referred to define a procedure or a function. Sequence, you will refer a sequence to create a value in a primary key column. Subprogram, it can be referred or can be dependent. So table, trigger, all are dependent and can be referred also. Point taken. Dependencies of two types. One is the dependency of direct dependency. You can look into this dependent procedure referred table. So the procedure is what actually is a ready-made code block. Fine. The procedure. View or procedure reference dependent. Direct dependency on a table. Point taken. Procedure always depends on a table. If the table is dropped, the procedure doesn't work. If the table name is changed, the procedure doesn't work. Right? Point taken. But if you look into the general point, the procedure is indirect dependence. Table is indirect dependent on the procedure. All of you. So if you take a view, procedure A, procedure B, view A, table, all dependents on table only, right? Procedures will be dependent on table. Function is dependent on table. View is a dependent on table. So these are all directly can be dependent on table. Now once if you want to look into what are the dependencies you have, so you can use a table called user underscore dependencies. You can see what are all dependent on what. User underscore dependencies is the table name. Can I know from all of you? It's a system table. You can use this table to retrieve the information of what are the dependencies and what are dependent on what are the objects. Now if you look into this, the procedure employees table is dependent, function is dependent on employees table, another function dependent on employee table, package body dependent on these tables. So whatever you created, those are all will be dependent on some other objects in the schema. Are you all clear? Any questions? Because you create a view name, as the view can be created on a table. Create a procedure name as you can create on a table. Function you can create, trigger you can create, but tables are required. So obviously those are all will be dependent on other objects only. Point taken. Now, indirect or invalidation of dependent objects. What is that? You created a procedure on a view. You created on a table, right? There is a table, that is the original object. But you created a view on that particular table. On a view, you created a procedure. So procedure A is directly dependent on view B. View B is a direct dependent on table C. Procedure A is an indirect dependent on table C, because there is no link between procedure and, you can see, there is no direct link to procedure and table. So it's an indirect dependency. But if you look into that, procedure A is directly dependent on view, and view is directly dependent on table. So that is direct dependency. Direct dependencies are invalidated only by changes to the referenced object and affect them. So what the point here is, direct dependency is, if the table name changes, then the view cannot work, right? If you drop the table, view also will be invalid, because view object will exist but it cannot refer anything. Indirect dependencies can be invalidated by changes to the reference object and do not affect them. So if you work with a procedure by creating on a view, if view is dependent on a table, if table is dropped, view doesn't work, then procedure also will be affected in the same way. Point taken? All of you? So, very simple way you can analyze what is dependent. Here as a general example of how to create a view once again. So the view name is commissioned. Okay, you all can see the view name. It's a simple view created. Create view space view name. But you created a view for those 4 columns, 3 columns from employee table for the commission of the employees who are earning more than 0.00. Means those who have commission more than 0.00. So on that particular, again you are creating another view, 6-figure salary. So those who are earning more than 1 lakh, that you are going to create a view. So when you want to retrieve the information here, object name, status from user object and all views, it shows all the views to you which are dependent on employees table. Point taken? All of you? Are you all clear? So you want to see what are all dependent on what. So there is a table called dependent tree. You can use the table DEP tree. Select star from DEP tree. It shows all what are all dependent on what. That is a system table. Are you all clear? Expecting response from all of you. Nested level type name from DEP tree, order by sequence. So the sequence number, if you provide, then it shows the order level. That is, you want to retrieve the information of what are all dependent on what. Table, view, triggers, you can see all whatever we have created. Any more questions? All of you? Fine. Dependent tree is the object. Same manner, we have fine-grained dependency management. Conceptually here, in Oracle 11G, before the Oracle 11G version, this type of dependency management was not available. You can track all the dependencies at the level of element within unit, like a dependency within a view, dependency within a like a procedure or a function or a trigger. So generally we create a view on a table. So table is a main object, view is dependent on the table. So element based dependency tracking covers the following. What is that? Dependency of a single table view on its base table. Because if you create a view on a single table, if you create a view on multiple tables, if you create a view on another view, so then the dependency levels are changing out there. Dependency of a PLSQL program unit like a package, package body and subprogram. What are all other PLSQL program units, tables and views? These are all actually different ways of interrelated dependencies. If you take a package, the package is the one, but what you will define in the package body, you will define the package body to execute a procedure or a function. Those two you can separately you can define, right? But this package, if you want to execute, this package will depend on those two procedures and functions. So it is actually a subprogram dependent on some other subprograms. So the level of dependency will be different. Expecting response from all of you. Is it clear to you all? Make it fast. Fine. Fine. So remote dependencies. Remote dependencies actually very simple to analyze. You will execute the PLSQL procedure as a separate one from application. The application would execute that particular procedure. The procedure is separately residing in the database server. But when you execute the procedure might have created on a view, you can refer on a table. So that you can see, you are executing a procedure here. The procedure when you are executing, the procedure specification is available in the server that is being created on a view. View is targeting and looking to the table definition. But the procedure, whatever you created, if procedure is invalid, so you can see here, the procedure is invalid. If the procedure is not valid, then it cannot refer the view. So if view is invalid, it cannot refer the table. So that is whatever you are executing, the procedure is valid, but if remotely when you are sending the procedure request to execute the data in the table, the procedure which is there in the table dictionary, that should be executed, and if it is referencing the view, that should be executed, then only that can be referred the table. All of you clear? Remote dependencies. The remote dependencies, actually, these application in the general real practical environment, the practical in the sense real software development environment, these all will be in a different computer nodes. Nodes in the sense these are will be in a different computers. So one computer with another computer, we are trying to execute it. Fine. This is called as remote dependencies. If you are working within the same environment, then there will be no issue because the procedure resides on the same server. Fine. Remote dependencies can be governed or managed by the mode chosen by the user. You can choose a mode, what way you want to execute it. So what way you want to execute? Timestamp. Timestamp is in the process. Based on the time schedule, that particular procedure, whatever you want to execute or any other thing you want to execute can be checked. Right? Signature checking is what you know. Function signature like a procedure signature. What you are passing. Procedure with in parameter, procedure with out parameter or procedure with in and out parameter. So based on that, you can check the procedure dependencies. Did you all remember procedure with parameters we discussed? So conceptually you can see local procedure A compiles at 9 a.m. So this small scenario will make you all to understand what is a local procedure will be executed at a particular point of time. Here you can see, right? Local procedure compiles at 9 a.m. What is local procedure? You created a procedure in the server. The procedure automatically should be executed based on the time defined over there. This procedure can be related to taking the backup of data. Procedure can be related to giving a login ID to you, making your login ID valid. The procedure make your login ID valid till evening 5 o'clock. Okay, morning 9 o'clock, the procedure will make your login active. So you can continue working till 5 o'clock. So I'm a guest user in a project. I went to some other location with other team. I joined. I will work for a week with them. For a week, if I want to work, they provide a temporary login for 9 hours per day. So the procedure would start at 9 o'clock morning. That makes my login active. So when I enter my login ID password, I will be allowed to use the application or database. So the procedure would be created again based on the timestamp at evening 5 o'clock. Then that will make my login account will be visible. So that the way script automatically runs. So when a local procedure, when you create it here, it compiles. What I can record, 1 minute please. Fine. When a local procedure gets created, it would record the time. It would record the time on what time it was created. Fine. That is actually the timestamp, the schedule of the time on what time the procedure got created. Fine. Are you all clear? So the timestamp records the time, the scheduler, the location, including the local timestamp. Based on that, it would be calculated. Fine. Timestamp of A, timestamp of B, and timestamp of the remote procedure at what time it made it valid. At the same time, when you want to define the procedure to make it to be invalid also, when the time comes, it can be make it invalid also. Are you all clear? Any questions? So you can make the procedure to be valid for a while. Then after that, again, if you try to quit the procedure, it doesn't work. Means that particular would do. So because the comparison, the time changes, another procedure would be executed. If the time difference is crossing 9 hours based on your requirement, then it would be stopped. All of you? Any questions? These are all actually the part of dependencies. All of you please respond. So when you have created a procedure, you can make the procedure recompilation of any program unit. So generally, recompilation in the sense you can change the signature of the procedure, you can change the initialization parameter of the procedure or any configuration of the procedure generally. So recompilation is handled automatically through implicit runtime recompilation. You don't need to worry about that, but only the thing you need to change alter procedure name. You can define compile as a like a keyword as parameter. So alter function, then you can use compile. Alter package, and you can use compile. Alter trigger, then you can use compile or debug. So those will make that particular procedure function trigger will be automatically recompiled. So when the recompilation will be failed, recompilation dependency, when you are recompiling by changing the table name, if you want to recompile it, the situation is the reference object is dropped or renamed, recompilation will be failed. Data type of the referential column is changed, then recompilation will be failed. Column if you remove from the table, the recompilation of the procedure or function will be failed. View is replaced with a different columns, then recompilation will be failed. And the referential procedure is also modified for any reason, then recompilation will be failed. So that is actually the effect of the dependency. Recompilation will be successful opposite to those things. So how you can minimize the dependencies? See, sometimes we use the row type attribute. Why do we use the row type attribute? You want to take the same data type of the entire row to copy into the all values of the variable. So row type attribute. Type attribute, there will be no confusion of the data type of whatever the column is there to create a variable to copy the value. Fine. Use the generally select star notation and using generally insert statement. So these are all actually you can use for exactly to execute without any issue of the execution. Point taken. So in case of packages and dependencies, subprograms refer the package, function refers the package, fine. Procedure declaration, procedure A declaration, but both I can use in a single package. So the package is the one as a independent unit, but procedure is a part of the package. Point taken. All of you. It is actually, the session is conceptual completely, because in this session we will identify the view is the one which is dependent on table, procedure is the one which is dependent on a view or a table. So these are all actually how the dependency works. What are the measures we should take when you are defining these type of dependent objects. So how you can ensure that the dependency should not be disturbed at any level. So I created a view, but I dropped the table. Dependency fail. I created a view, I changed the column, or I dropped the column, or I changed the table name. So what's the use of those? So recompilation also will be failed. Point taken. All of you. This is all about our entire training of our PLSQL. Fine. So only the thing here is, along with the course, some extent, if you would have followed the practicals or learning also, it would have given more confidence to you all. But I hope you all are following well, all of you from all locations. Which we have Sham Bazaar, everyone, Andheri Center, Bandra, Borivali. But I try to help you out by extending the schedule, but it's not actually in my hand. So you please do well on your exam date. And second, fine, can I know from all of you, would you all appear for exam with good confidence? All of you. See, brave, you should be enough confident, because it's not first time you are appearing for exam, right? But the thing is, you are with some, I will upload remaining part also. Most of the things I have uploaded, Akshay. Remaining things also I will upload. And only the thing, the enough practical is required. Even glance of reading, I request you all to do. Collectively, you all please prepare. Easily you can crack the exam. Fine. All of you, please respond. Yes, Sunny. It is not in my hand. Like I cannot modify Aishwarya. I thought of helping you out in that, but I could not succeed in this, because as per the schedule, the schedule will come. Otherwise, I would have helped you. I thought of support you, but that is the problem with the centralized SLT schedule. Is the SLT schedule only that cannot be modified. Otherwise, I would have helped you all. Fine. Positively, I request you all. You don't think in my point of view. Okay. I don't have any point to you all not to schedule it, but it's not in my hand. Okay. It's common actually for many batches. It's come immediately and the next day also exam. For us, it has come at a gap of 1 day. That is on 2nd of coming month. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow. I have been alerted you all since the beginning, right? Am I right, all of you? Yes, Sunny should study more, right? Even this you can do continuity of learning. Even after the exam also, you continue preparation of PLSQL and SQL also, because these two are direct technical subjects. In future also it will be useful to you all. Okay? All of you, please respond once again. The journey of our PLSQL has been completed. So how was the entire training? Can I know from all of you? You can share your feedback. You can type your feedback even over there. And then I request you all to participate in feedback and complete all pending CTs and prepare well. Go ahead for your exam confidently. I wish you all the best for your exam. Yes, Akshay, thank you. Fine, all of you, concentrate on kit 1, that is directly useful for your interviews, and kit 2 is more technically useful for you all. Fine, thank you all, and I request you all to participate in feedback as part of the regular session, but this feedback will be with more questions, right? It's a end module feedback. Kindly participate in that, all of you. Fine. All from all locations. Right. Manoj, I wish you all the best for your exam. Anything to share with me? Manoj, 1 minute. Anything to share with me, all of you? No? All? I wish you all the best. Go ahead. We had a discussion on this, Milind, Vedant Milind. I will do one thing, Milind. I have uploaded the example of that associative array also. You please check in your courseware. And in case still if you have any confusion on this associative array, generally when you are working with triggers or any procedures functions, there you want to create those type of the things into a single environment to create. There I have provided the complete information of associative array in the course, in the attachment also. You please check the example also available. If you don't find, you ask me, I will provide again. I have already provided, I am sure. This is part of the dynamic SQL, it is being provided. Right? Any questions? So concentrate on packages. Packages is useful, and packages you will get package questions. And concentrate on triggers. I will share the content, what is the area you supposed to concentrate more. I will upload in our group. I will put it there in the group as a comment. I request you all to go through that. Fine. So do well. All the best. All the best for your exam. Good day to you all and good night.